The strikers Chelsea are dreaming of, one's heading to Arsenal, another one is pushing to join Galatasaray. Madueke to Arsenal is not dead, the club says 50 million. But the question is, will Arsenal pay? Garnacho, Fofana, Morgan Rogers, more names admired but no action. Crystal Palace won Josh Acheampong, and as well as the latest on Mohammed Kudus. I'm breaking it all down. Smash the like button, hit the subscribe button. I'm on the way to 3K. Let's get into it. It's done, not officially but spiritually. This one is over. Chelsea wanted him, West Ham were open to selling to us, but it didn't matter because the player himself already made his choice. This is the full breakdown of Mohammed Kudus to Tottenham and the full reason why Chelsea were never really in control. Let's get with the facts. This is what Fabrizio Romano dropped. Understand Kudus is not talking to any other club at this stage. He wants Tottenham move. Kudus already said yes to Spurs project, and club-to-club talks with West Ham will continue soon. Clear intention to join Spurs. That's your update. Direct, no bluff. The message from Mohammed Kudus is that he wants Spurs. He's not interested in entertaining other clubs, not even Chelsea. His mind is made up. Now this is where it gets interesting, because according to reports, West Ham would actually prefer to sell Kudus to Chelsea. Better deal, better terms, easier negotiation. But there was one problem. The player only wanted Spurs. You can't force a transfer if the player says no. And Kudus said it without saying it. He shut the door on Chelsea completely. It's one of those rare moments where the selling club says, let's go Chelsea, but the player says, I'm not even listening. And now here is my take. Kudus is a good player, we know that. Dribbles, score, intelligent movement. Yes, can play across front three or deeper. He's a weapon, no doubt. But am I heartbroken? No. Chelsea rebuild is about fit, it's about hunger. And if someone's heart is already at another club, leave them. We have got young talents coming in. Jimmy Bino getting Extova. Madueke is still here for now. Kopama is the face. We are building around player who wants to wear the shirt. So yes, Kudus could have been a boast. But like I always say, we move. So here we are. Here is the latest on Noni Madueke. Personal terms already agreed. But Chelsea not in a rush, not desperate, not moving unless the price is met. This is what the Athletic and the secret scouts are reporting, and it changes everything. According to the Athletic, Chelsea have set the price for Noni Madueke. For Arsenal to sign Madueke, Chelsea wants in excess of £50 million. The club believe the current market justify such a figure given West Ham valuation of Kudus and Nottingham Forest agreeing a deal worth of £52 million for Anthony Elanga with Newcastle. And that's not all. Secret scouts added, Chelsea apparently floated the idea of involving Max Dorman in a deal for Madueke, which is something Arsenal didn't hesitate to turn down. So yeah, Arsenal is interested, but Chelsea are holding all the cards. Let's not forget what I reported earlier. Madueke has already agreed personal terms with Arsenal. But here is the twist. Arsenal only value him for 30 million, and that's miles off what Chelsea are demanding. And why? Because we are not actively looking to sell. Madueke is not on transfer list. It's part of Moresca's plan, and at 23, English, homegrown, Chelsea knows what exactly they have. So if Arsenal really wants him, it's 50 million plus or nothing. Now let's talk about McDormand's situation. Chelsea tried to get creative, floated the idea of involving Max Dorman, Arsenal highly rated 16-year-old midfielder, in a potential deal for Noni Madueke. But Arsenal didn't blink. They said no instantly. And it makes sense when you look at the bigger picture. Dorman plays the same position as Nkunku, whom Arsenal are struggling to keep. And behind them, Martin Odegaard, still the club captain, locked in as the starter. And add the fact to Arsenal actively looking on a deal for Eberechi, and suddenly someone is getting squeezed out. Dorman, Nwaneri, Eze, Odegaard, all left-footed or creative 8s or 10s. How many can actually coexist? And that's the risk. But for Chelsea, it's a win-win. If Arsenal don't pay, we keep Madueke. If they do, we walk away with over 50 million for a player who haven't even fully exploded yet. He's frustrating at times, sure, but the talent is clear. And in a season with UCL, domestic cups, and more rotation, he could still play a big part under Enzo Moresca. So right now, there's no pressure. Chelsea are calm. And if Arsenal overinvest in an already stacked midfield, we'll be there, watching, waiting. We move. And as much as we talk about who is coming in, it's much as important as focusing on who is going out. Because let's be honest, even if I'm not blown away by the names coming through the door, we need to sell. FFP is not a joke. And Chelsea more than anyone else knows that. Today the spotlight is on Axel Disasi. Yes, the same Disasi who returned on loan from Aston Villa. It looks like Chelsea journey is coming to an end. Let's get into the updates. According to Fabrizio, Villarreal has contacted Axel Disasi and negotiations are ongoing. Newcastle, other Premier League and Italian teams are keeping an eye on him and monitoring him. Chelsea will ask for around £25 million and this player is expected to leave. And it's all there. Villarreal made their move, Newcastle and others are watching. And Chelsea would demand £25 million. And most importantly, Disasi is expected to leave. Look, I speak for most Chelsea fans when I say this. Disasi doesn't suit Maresca's system. He's not terrible. He's had his moments. But in a structure that demands calm on the ball, line breaking passes and positional play, he's not that guy. It's not just about talent, it's about fit. And under Enzo Maresca, Disasi would always be an awkward piece in the puzzle. Let's be real, someone has to go. As much as I'm not exactly thrilled with the incoming this window, the reality is that we have got to sell to balance the book. Disasi is the sacrifice, not emotional, not personal, just business. Chelsea have Levi Colwill, Bewa Badosho, Tosin Adrabayo, Trevor Chalobah still around. And if one more centre-back goes, Disasi is the logical exit. 2 years after signing for £38 million, he could leave for around £25 million. And I say, take the loss, clear the space, move forward. Disasi didn't disgrace the badge, but he never felt like a long-term piece. If Newcastle or Villarreal or even a Serie A club wants him, let's get it done. Now, this is what you want to hear from a player wearing a Chelsea shirt. Because in a window full of exits, rumours, question about ambition, this one stands out. Nicholas Jackson doesn't want to leave. He's heard the noise, he's heard the criticism, but instead of running, he's staying. And most importantly, he's fighting. Let's get into it. The latest updates come from a reliable journalist. I am Romano. Jackson doesn't want to leave Chelsea this summer. He has taken on board all the criticism and competition. He sees it all as a call to improve. His aim is to put the last few games behind him and get back on his best form. You see that? No ducking the pressure, not blaming the system, just a player owning his struggle and choosing to grow. Look, I get it. Jackson is frustrating. He rushes shots, misses sitters. Some game you want to back him, others you just want him off the pitch. But if he fixes his finishes, if he sharpens that composure in front of goals, he becomes elite. Because everything else, already there. His movement is smart, his pressing is relentless, and his link-up play, especially with Kopama, has serious upside. Selling Jackson now makes zero sense. Why? Because Chelsea aren't swimming in elite strikers. The lab just arrived, and let's be honest, he's not an upgrade on Jackson. Let Jackson learn, let Maresca coach him, give him time. Backing a player who wants to fight for the badge should always be the standard. This is what you want in your dressing room, not just talent, character. Jackson has flaws, but he's got fire. And right now, Chelsea need more of that. So here's the latest on Christopher Nkunku. It's no secret that Chelsea wants him gone, and Bayern are back. They have wanted him before, they're back on the table. And this time, it makes more sense than ever. According to Simon Johnson and The Athletic, the update is simple that Christopher Nkunku is again a target for Bayern Munich. They are keen once again to bringing Christopher Nkunku back to Germany. Chelsea will insist on a permanent deal for the forward. So here it is. Bayern are moving, Chelsea are listening. But this won't be alone. Chelsea wants him gone permanently. And if you have been following Bayern's window, this lines up. They have just missed out on Nico Williams, who is staying at Atletico Bilbao. They tried to sign Jamie Bynoe Gittins too, but Chelsea swooped in, got the deal done. So they are still hunting for a left-sided attacker, someone with explosiveness, end product, and versatility. Nkunku fits. He's multifunctional, left wing, striker, second striker. Injury aside, this is a player on his day can destroy any defense. And Bayern knows that firsthand from his Leipzig days. As for Chelsea, let's not lie to ourselves, Nkunku's time at Chelsea has been disappointing. Injury dominated his first season, the momentum never built, and even in the few moments we saw him this season, it always felt a bit disjointed. Nkunku is not a guaranteed starter, and Chelsea are looking to trim the squad and raise funds. Selling him now, especially to a club like Bayern, could be the cleanest exit. Look, when Nkunku is fit, he's elite, but the Premier League is different. The tempo, the pressure, the physicality, it hasn't worked out the way anyone hoped. So if Bayern wants him, and if Chelsea can get a respectable fee, it might be the best for both parties. Fresh start, clean slate, Chelsea focus on building under Maresca, Nkunku goes back to a league where he's already thrived. So while the focus is on outgoing, Chelsea recruitment team are still quietly working behind the scene. And now two names are surfaced on the radar, or better yet, resurfaced. One is Alejandro Garnacho from Manchester United, the other is Malick Fofana from Lyon, and both being monitored by the club. This comes from Simon Johnson, and it's not just a rumor you can brush aside. The other name on Chelsea's wish list, Manchester United Alejandro Garnacho, who has been on it since January, and they have also asked Lyon about Malick Fofana. So let's break it down. Garnacho has been tracked since January. That's long-term interest, not a panic link. Fofana, inquiry made to Lyon, early stages, but clearly someone the club rates. Now I'll be real, this only makes sense if Madueke leaves. So if the deal gets done, expect one of these names to move fast. Let's talk about Garnacho first. Now technically, he's got the tools: explosive, direct, score goals, and can play on the left or the right. But let's not kid ourselves. Most Chelsea fans are against this one. And then you have got Malick Fofana, only 19 years old, Belgian international, winger with raw pace, creativity, potential. And he has been quietly building at Lyon. Not a household name yet, but he fits Chelsea model. Young, high ceiling, value pickup, couldn't break the bank, and would explode under the right manager. Out of these two, Fofana feels like more realistic and less decisive move. Chelsea are watching, quietly planning. If Madueke leave, one of these two might be the replacement. Garnacho, controversial. Fofana, under the radar. So here we go again. Morgan Rogers, Chelsea, admirers. This is probably the 100th time we have heard it. And at this point, if we rate him that much, make a move. Because while we sit and admire, Aston Villa has got a real PSR problem to deal with. And they didn't even qualify for Champions League last season. So if there is ever a time to strike, it's now. Here is what Simon Jansen said. Chelsea are big admirers of Aston Villa Morgan Rogers. Simple, straight, but also repetitive. Because this isn't the first time. We had the admiration talk in May, again in June, now in July. And still no bid, no progress, no real movement. So at what point do we go from admiring to actually acting? Let's talk about Aston Villa's situation. Unai Emery's men missed out on Champions League football. Now they are on real pressure to comply to PSR rules. And if you are being honest, Rogers fits what Maresca wants. Ball control, fluid attacking movement, versatile enough to play across the front three, can drop deep, combine, drift wide, or play between the lines. He's still raw, still developing, but at 22 years old, he's one of the most intelligent English attackers in the league. And the kind of profile Chelsea would shape under the right structure. But here is the thing, if we truly admire him, we have to stop window shopping. It's either you rate him or you don't. Because while Chelsea hesitates, another club could pull the trigger. Admiration doesn't win game, action does. We move. So here is the latest name link with a summer exit. Josh Acheampong, one of the brightest defensive talents at Koba. And now Crystal Palace has made their move. But for me, this is a no. And I will explain why. The updates come from Mike Griff, who confirmed Crystal Palace has inquired about Josh Acheampong on a season loan from Chelsea. Palace has targeted him as a primary signing from Chelsea this summer, with one loan allowed from a Premier League rival. So here is what we know. Palace are allowed one loan from a Premier League club, and they have prioritized Acheampong. Talks are at inquiry stage, but it shows how highly rated he is, especially by clubs watching his development closely. Now I'll be honest, these moves make zero sense to me. He's young, he needs minutes. But right now, Chelsea can't afford to take this kind of risk. Look at the reality. Reece James, elite talent, club captain, one of the best right back in the world when he's fit. But let's be real, his injury record is worrying. He missed most of last season and we still don't know how many games he can realistically play this year. Malo Gusto, great going forward, strong in 1v1, but at times still a little inconsistent. That's where Josh Acheampong becomes crucial. Let's not forget, Acheampong has trained with the first team under multiple managers. He's physically strong, composed on the ball, and tactically mature for his age. And keeping him around Maresca, who values technical fullbacks, could be huge for his development. Sending him to Palace, where he might not even get start consistently, just feels like a waste. This isn't a situation where Chelsea have the depth to loan freely. It's not about hoarding talent, it's about having the right squad balance for a long season ahead. Reece James' fitness is a concern. Gusto still inconsistent. Josh Acheampong deserves to stay. So this is where we are now. Victor Osimhen to Galatasaray, Viktor Gyökeres to Arsenal. And Chelsea, we are rolling into next season with Leon Delap and Nicholas Jackson. This isn't even about disrespecting the players we have. This is about ambition, standard, and the reality of what top clubs are doing. Let's break it down. Fabrizio Romano dropped this bomber this week. Galatasaray has sent an initial bid for Victor Osimhen for 50 million plus 5. While Napoli wants more, Osimhen is keen on a return to Gala. But deal depends on club-to-club talks. And equally added, Galatasaray will approach Napoli again with a new proposal after 60 million turned down. The agreement with Osimhen is done until 2028, but Napoli wants more and a better payment terms. So yeah, that's not rumor, that's real move. Victor Osimhen, one of the best strikers in the world, might be headed to Turkey. A player who could have easily transformed Chelsea frontline. And where are we in the race? Nowhere. Then you have got Arsenal, who have agreed personal terms with Gyökeres until 2030. Viktor Gyökeres has been clear with Sporting as reported. only Arsenal club-to-club talk advancing. Gyökeres accepted to give up 2 million from his salary to make this move happen. That's what ambition looks like. A striker who scored 52 goals last season, ready to play for the badge, willing to sacrifice the salary, and Arsenal are going all in to bring him to London. Now contrast that with Chelsea. While Arsenal are landing Gyökeres and Galatasaray are bidding for Osimhen, we are out here signing Leon Delap. And again, no disrespect. Delap has got potential, Jackson is hardworking and improving. But when you are competing in the Premier League and Champions League, and your front line is Jackson and Delap, you are asking for trouble. That's not how you compete with City, Liverpool, and Arsenal. That's how you stay in the limbo. It's not about signing the biggest name every summer, it's about raising the floor of the team. Osimhen or Gyökeres aren't luxury signing. They are finishing piece. They turn a good team into winners. And as much as we like to talk about project youth and long-term vision, we also need end products, goals, ruthlessness. And right now, Chelsea look like a club hoping someone breaks through, and while other clubs are buying certainty. So yeah, Osimhen is going to Galatasaray, Gyökeres is forcing his way to Arsenal. Chelsea signing Leon Delap. It's hard to defend and it makes you question, what are we actually building going forward? But that's the video there. I hope you enjoy it. Make sure you like, comment and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one. Igobi.